Hey Flosstube! I don't even know what number Flosstube this is. I don't know how long it's been since I've done one. I want to say maybe a year. As you can imagine, over a year, I have a lot to share, but I'm cutting it down to some of my favorite things and some things that I think you might like to see. I'm so glad to be back. I had a couple Instagram and Flosstube friends encouraging my mom and I to get back on camera, and she's really busy in her studio, so she asked me if I would help her clean it up, and then we would film one. But I thought in the meantime I would just get caught up over the last year. My name is Lisa, by the way. I'm known as Little Annie Z. My mom is Mama Z, and I'm Little Annie Z on Instagram. It's been so long, I've been going gray, as you can see. I stopped coloring my hair. I made that decision this summer, so it's great. I have no regrets. Things have been kind of in transition for me. I've taken on more responsibility at work, and so when I'm home, it's just been great to sit and stitch and quilt and do all the things that I enjoy. So I've kind of taken a break from Flosstube, but I thought since some of my friends have been encouraging me, I would get back on, like I said. Where to start? I always like to give a hobby farm update. I don't really have much to report other than we are this season doing some beets and turnips. And we've done a little bit of more agricultural type, livestock type exploring to see if we want to do something with that. So more update on that if it happens. But yeah, we still have the bees and all of that. So I thought I would start out by showing you a whip. I've been kind of monogamous lately. So let me show you. I'm doing Pink Hill Manor by Blackbird Designs. And this was one of the first Blackbird Designs charts I purchased. And this is it's very small. Let me see, I probably need to get something behind it. I posted on Instagram. I'm kind of dedicating this to childhood memories at Grandma's house. And especially this time of year, you could go and read that post. But these are the threads that I'm using. Almost all of the called for colors. I've had to substitute out a couple that would make this sampler more to my taste. Just a couple reds. I think I added a red and took out the purple. And then I'm going to show you more of these little, I've been making these little fobs. These are just some charms that I got at Walmart. And they're so fun, little bling. So this is my grandma's house as it stands about 10 years ago. I found this image. This is my grandparents' house, and this is in Catskill, New York. So that pink house just reminded me of this image. So I want you to notice the porch railing. This is me in 1972. And I'm standing on the porch facing the street. So just special memories with my cousins and my grandparents. So I wanted to share that WIP with you. A couple previous finishes for fall. I finished Brenda Gervais' Be Ye Thankful. I did it very small and without the border. Carol Lee, the Stitching is Elementary, we decided, I pulled it out and she said, I have that. And this is just some background fabric from Hobby Lobby, some rickrack from Hobby Lobby. And I did it as called for, I'm pretty sure everything. And it's on 22 count Aida. That's the only non-called for. And I sprayed it with the antiquing spray from Primitive Gatherings. And stuffed it with polyfill and wood shavings. And then my other fall finish is from Winds of Autumn Blackbird Designs, Mighty Acorn, I think it's called. I did this on 18 count. Well, I could tell you. So I've bought this tray, and what I changed it a little bit to add some initials. So this would be an heirloom for my son one day. Isaiah 61:3 is the scripture verse that this reminded me of. And so I've got my husband's initials, his dad, my dad, and my son's initials stitched into it. And it pops out of here pretty easily. And it's just on some foam core. And then I put the scripture verse and some photos into this so it could become an heirloom piece. And this is stitched on 18 count. Oh, picture this plus legacy. And I did all the called for floss except for the initials. I added a teal color and the scripture verse. And I love this linen. By far my favorite linen I've stitched on so far. And I'll share some of these photos with you quickly. I just printed off of my computer some photos through the years of the people that I have honored in my sampler. I don't know if you can see those, but anyway, it's a great memory that I'm glad that I have. So for fall, that's all I chose to show you for fall. And I'll show you some finished pieces for Christmas that I've done recently. Or the first year that I'm able to, I guess, display them because I finished them last year. So let me show you those. The first one that I finished last year was, I think I showed you that I was the FO, but not the FFO. So this is a tiny version of Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas Sampler. And those buttons I showed in a previous Flosstube, so you could go back and look at the significance of those buttons that I found. I did stitch, and I think I've already told you about my kids' initials that I stitched, but this is the FFO. So all the details is in a previous Flosstube. I won't go over it again. I found this frame at an antique store, so I loved it and thought it would be perfect. This is something I stitched Jolly July. I combined two of this Stitching with the Housewives patterns and put them into one pattern. So I took a crate of hot cocoa. I don't remember if that's the exact name. And then Christmas lights. They were both the crates. Little, I don't know if this is Dapper Doodad or Tear Tray Tidbit, but I combined the Christmas lights and the hot cocoa together and just kind of made my own version. So that goes on my tier tray, which is, you can see part of it right there. It actually sits right here on the top. Another recent finish is Brenda Gervais pattern. Oh my goodness, the name escapes me. Cup of Good Cheer, maybe? And this is how I display it on this large standing tier tray. I changed out some of the DMC colors and filled it with lizard litter and polyfill, a little jingle bell, and a mini strawberry. This ribbon is from the dollar store, and I'll give you a good look at them. I did the turkey stitch to make his pom-pom because I couldn't find a felted ball that I really liked. So this is not all the called for colors. And this is done on Ada. I want to say it's 18 count beige Davos. And then this is the back. I believe this is a Kimberbell fabric. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think that's it. So this also goes on the tier tray over here. And I've got one more Christmas finish to share with you. And this is Jingle Bell Cafe. I fell in love with this because my kitchen is all about gingerbread and baking at Christmas time. And I finished it and got it on, and then I realized I forgot to stitch the other border at the top. But I'm kind of glad because I like the way this fits. It doesn't take up the entire piece. And then the lid comes off. Oh, I forgot I didn't connect it. I'm out of practice. I glued it all together, but I didn't connect it to the top. So let me hold it here. These are some Jingle Bell picks that I got at Walmart. These little sled ornaments, mini ornaments I got at Walmart. And these are just some ribbons I had from Hobby Lobby. So that sits on top. And this is the piece that's called for. And I went to purchase it. Every time I went to Hobby Lobby, they did not have it on sale. So I just went ahead and splurged and got it. And when I went to check out, there was this young man at the register, and he goes, "Do you know this isn't on sale?" I said, "I know." Okay. And then I'm going to show you a couple other previous finishes that I've done throughout the year. I've got to step off camera to grab the stack. So I will take one at a time and share with you the pieces. So this is a sampler from the Wishing Thorn. I found this frame at Goodwill. I loved it because it had my initials, LZ. Z is my maiden name initial. It is 2 colors of, I believe, Classic Colorworks. I want to say chili pepper and ribbon red, maybe. And it's done on I believe this is 28 count even weave. I don't put any glass on mine. So that's one finish. The second one is something that I created on my own using the Scarlet House sampler. Oh goodness, I am so sorry, I've forgotten the name of it. Carol Saltbox Stitcher is stitching it right now, and I think she's almost done. I don't have it on the back of here. But anyway, my husband and I took my favorite motifs. I first stitched the verse. I charted it and used Brenda Key's book, took one of her alphabets and stitched it. Stitched the verse. This is a quote from Lady Jane Grey that I did for Reformation Day, which is the same day as Halloween. She was a queen for a very short time, just a little over a week, and she was martyred for her biblical beliefs. And her quote here is what partially what she stated in a letter to her sister. So she was 17 years old, and this is all done on with DMC on 36 count. Actually, the Wishing Thorn is also done on the same fabric, 36 count even weave. And this is one that I don't think I've shown you FFO'd. Where Flowers Bloom by Hands on Design, not Hands on Design, Hands Across the Sea. And this is done on 18 count Davos khaki or putty, and all the called for DMC threads. And this one, I put my mother-in-law's initials here, and I did this actually right in the nick of time before 2022 began. That's when I finished it. I love this sampler. It's so vibrant. All right, and then this is a piece, you all have seen this from Lori Holt, the Silo Barn Mini. I did this with all DMC threads on 14 count Shabby Chic wood, pink Ada. And then I stitched these little, from her stitch cards, and I have them for different seasons, and I mounted them with a washer. There's a magnet under here, and they just stick right inside the barn so I can change it out. And that's another finish. And then I will show you these two finishes together. These are Blackbird designs. I didn't pull the chart, but they have the same frame and they hang together on the wall. So this one is Weeks Dye Works Sanguine, probably 32 count. And I believe all the called for colors. And I dedicated this to my daughter, Christiana, and my daughter-in-law, Rachel, with the C and the R. And this one, and I'm sorry, I don't recall the exact names of these, but I'm sure they're very familiar to you. These aren't new or anything. And this is dedicated to my two sisters. The older sister is Tina with a capital T, and my little sister is Tara with the lowercase t. That's how I differentiated them. So these hang in my kitchen alongside this one. And this is Pink Sparrow by Brenda Gervais. This was a camping day stitch. We went camping and I did a lot of stitching on this that weekend because it was raining. And I really love this. I stitched this, I believe, I have the card right here. Let's see, this is called Pink Sparrow. And I stitched this on 32 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. I love this linen. Love it, love it, love it. I used all the over-dyed flosses except there are some substitutions I made note of. I don't remember exactly what I substituted. So that also hangs in my kitchen alongside those other two small ones. And then I also wanted to show you a couple things that I made. This project bag with the tomatoes and the threads. I got this fabric from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I did one of Lori Holt's tomato appliques to put on the outside. And the inside has the same fabrics. And then I got this little fat quarter from Hobby Lobby and made a thread keep that has a couple layers of batting in it for flosses. So I wanted to share that. I did make quite a few project bags over the last year, but this one I wanted to share because it's one of my favorites. And I want to tell you the collection of fabric. Let me grab that. I grabbed the selvage. Oh, I think I may have left it upstairs. Oh well, it's called She Who Sews. And yeah, I left the selvage upstairs. And then I've been making my own floss bling. And I think Chris, the camping stitcher, has been doing the same. The Etsy store that I got these cabochons from they went out of business, unfortunately. But I took my Christmas sampler, took a photo of it and printed it out and put it into this cabochon. And then I added some cute things that I found at Hobby Lobby to bling it up a bit. So these are some charms: a snowman, a candy cane, and one of those Christmas light buttons. And then there's a stocking there that actually is from Annabella's Etsy shop. All right, and then the other couple I wanted to show you was that Where Flowers Bloom sampler. I did the same thing. And I got these at the jewelry section at Hobby Lobby. I got Pride and Prejudice little book, a plate, and some teacups for cute little charms to add to that. And then lastly, I wanted to show you for making things. I got these buttons at Walmart, and actually this key is a charm from Hobby Lobby. I mixed them up. But here's a heart with a heart locket and then a crown. And ever since I've been learning more about the queens in England, I've been interested in these crowns. So you'll see more about that in a little bit. Okay, so a couple haul mixed with other things. I've been making some of these pins, and this is I've shown, my mom has shown this in a previous Flosstube. She made this form, and she made these pins. This one was a gift from Betty, one of my stitchy friends, and then these four I've made. So I made a Christmas one, and then I made like a bouquet of springtime ones. So I've been having fun with that. And at the dollar store, I picked up these little containers that help keep my buttons and charms and things organized. So I wanted to share with you a couple sets of buttons that I thought were really cute to share with you that I found at Walmart. So all of these came from Walmart. They're falling out of the package. Sorry about that. Okay, so the little scissors, measuring tape, buttons that look like buttons, and here's like a form. So I've been collecting the buttons to make the floss bling, to decorate my finishes with. I also found these little birds and trees. And those came from Hobby Lobby, no, Walmart, in the sewing section. So I thought I'd share those with you in case you wanted to get some fun decorating and organizing things. And then I'm going to share with you one more haul piece and then a couple quilt finishes. So I've been making some wax thread conditioners, and I got these silicone, this one came from Hobby Lobby, and they've got bees and honeycomb. These are super easy to use. They pop right out. They come out so beautiful. And then at Walmart, I got the crowns. So these are for like chocolate melts for candy making, but they work great for your wax as well. The wax that I use, we keep bees, but the wax that, we have is dirty after we extract the honey, and we have to filter it out. We have to filter the wax out, and it's a lot of work. And when you want to whip up something fun for yourself, you don't want to do all that work at first. For instance, this is the true color of honey wax from the hive. I made this candle. It's more on the beige side than yellow. And here's the wax that you buy. It's yellowish white. So these little pellets are much better to use when making your own because they melt quicker. I just do it right on my stove with this melter that I bought from, it's just basically a tall pot so it doesn't splash out at you. It's aluminum and it melts these pretty quickly. Easy to pour right out of the can. Get yourself a silicone spoon. Everything goes smoothly. So you can also purchase these silicone cups. These are in the soap making area at Hobby Lobby. I did try them, but I find pouring it right from the aluminum pot is fine. Less mess. Okay. Now I want to just share some patterns that I recently purchased from these two from Katie Strachan Ornamentations. This is the Brenda Gervais Rabbit and the Rose. I love her silk kits that she, so this is the Rabbit and the Rose. I think you all have seen that. The light is changing in here. It gets cloudy then sunny, cloudy then sunny. And here's the colors. I love this. I think this is probably going to be my next stitch that I'm going to do. I like to do one season ahead of time to stitch so that I have something to display new each year. And this is Joy and Good Cheer. And I stuck the pattern in there. It did not come with the pattern, but there's the silk and the beads. I probably won't get to this until next year, but wanted to share that with you. And then a couple Christmas patterns. These are new designers to me. This one is anyway. La Di Da, a Merry Christmas sampler. Threadwork Primitives. This is a Thanksgiving called Ever So Grateful. I'm not taking them out of the package because I don't want the video to be long, and I think you still can see it okay. And then this one is Brenda Gervais, Queen of Harvest, and I love this. That one, I apologize. You're not going to be able to see that without the glare. I love that lady with the crown. And then this one, Plum Street Samplers, Deer Friends. So we're big deer family. We love seeing deer, and so I thought that would be cute that I could keep up. A lot of these seasonal stitches I do keep up all the time. And this is Souvenirs of the Heart, Home for Christmas. This one I really love, and I want to do this one with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. This is all done over one, I believe. So that will be fun. I really love over one stitching. Call me crazy, but okay, let's see. What else do I have here? All right, so now we're on to the quilts. I just have 2 quilts and some fabric to show you. These are a couple quilt books that I have been collecting from Blackbird Designs. This one is In Full Bloom, and you may have seen these. I love their applique. I really want to try that. This one is A Little Flower. The colors are just so beautiful. And then Garden Club, a bouquet of quilts and projects. I think I'm so drawn to their photography. All right, and then I got this cute little Riley Blake, Jill Holworth Little Women. Little Women charm pack. I thought that was adorable. And then I found this panel that I thought I could fussy cut and use for pillow backings from Kimberbell, I believe this is. Cup of Cheer by Kimberbell. And I'll just, you could tell I cut one out already. They're super cute. So I fell in love with that just to have on hand to do cute finishes. And then I want to show you a finished quilt that I made. I may have to show it to you in parts. It's just a throw, and it's jelly roll and a panel. And I'll show you the fabrics. Right now I'm just showing you the quilt. And then I put some panel pieces of another panel at the bottom. And at the, let's see, at the way bottom, I did this quilt block that's called Eclairs, and it's from A Quilting Life, Sherry McConnell. I used this backing. I forgot what fabric that is. And then I like to bind my quilts with the store-bought binding already made. It's so much easier for me because I hate binding. Okay, so this quilt is made out of, let's see if I can show you. This is my leftover jelly roll. So it's all jelly roll, Bohemian Blue, and this is what's left over. So I could do maybe some pillows or something. And then the panel, and I've showed this before in a previous Flosstube, but it's, this is not the Blackbird Designs, this is another maker, but this is a panel that I used in the center of that quilt. And then these are the leftover pieces of the panel from what I put in the, I used a few in the quilt, these squares. And I know you all have seen these. The name escapes me. Songbird. Oh, here, let's see, I have the selvage right here, and I can tell you. Fancy That Design House. Putting a Song in Your Heart. And then this quilt is much larger. I did post it on Instagram if you want to go and see. This is done with Blackbird Designs, an old fabric line of theirs that I found on Etsy that I fell in love with. I think it's called Cherry Wine, maybe. This is what the quilt looks like, because I'm not going to be able to show you the entire thing. My mom and I quilted this together. There's my mom and there's me. Now the, what was I going to say about this quilt? This This is about a full size, and I quilted it on her long arm using a meandering, I just drove it on. April Rose is her name. And again, I used the store-bought binding that matched the center square. So the center square is a charm, and then I used the jelly roll around, and I used Lori Holt's pattern in one of her books. It's not the log cabin house. It's the one that looks similar to that. I'm not very prepared today to tell you, am I? But I had to mix in, so what makes this quilt, I think what makes the jelly roll pattern stand out, the block pattern stand out, is mixing in the mustard color. Now the sun is really coming out. The mustard color Moda Solid around the edge of the block on two sides. And I also did have to mix in a couple here and there backing fabric from Kim Deal. And I'll tell you what that is because I did bring the selvage down with me. And I also had to mix in just a couple pieces to fill in of French General, which you could see right here. And I love this quilt. It sits on my bed. I can reverse it. And the backing fabric is Kim Deal Sage and Sea Glass is the name of it. Sage and Sea Glass. Well, that was fast and furious. That is all that I have to show and share with you today. I hope to come back on again in a few weeks, hopefully maybe with my mom if she's ready to join me back again. And that's it. So you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Not sure if I'll be back before Christmas. If not, have a Merry Christmas. And it was fun to spend some time with you today. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you soon.